Hello, everyone. Welcome. Come on in. We are live, everybody. We are live. So, welcome. Come on in. How is everyone's Tuesday? We can, don't ask me. I don't know. Sometimes I take on the spirit of my daughter in her singing, so I think I can sing from time to time. So I'm just saying, forgive me, you all. How was everybody's Tuesday? That's what I want to know. I wish I could see your faces and we could actually speak. So tell me, how's your Tuesday? Listen, some Tuesdays may rock really well. Some Tuesdays may maybe feel like you got a little broken with it in a rocker, like maybe the gliding is not working too well or something, or maybe one of the legs of the chair broke. Whatever it is, don't know how your Tuesday is. However, we can set our focus to spend a little time together, building one another up, and definitely always stressing something about leadership. We are going to be speaking about empowering self-awareness strategies for women leaders. Men, you can learn a thing or two as well. Y'all know I generally am speaking to that career woman who wants to level on up. It's all about self-awareness, which is such a key, crucial topic. We are live. Please like, subscribe, follow, depending on which social media platform you are watching me from. But definitely, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and share, because you may know someone who needs this. You may know someone who struggles, and or everyone doesn't have to. It doesn't have to be about a struggle, but perhaps you do know someone who is just like, why am I getting passed over for promotion? Why aren't I excelling the way I know that I can excel? If you know someone like that, listen, sharing is truly caring, and we have to start sharing more, because we have such a breadth of knowledge base. If we all just got together and really were collaborative, woo, we go a long, long way. Now, that was just me talking. So let me go ahead and move on. Last week, if you missed last week, you want to go back and catch that replay. It was all about overcoming self-doubt, empowering strategies for women leaders. It was like lead like a queen. And, I gave a couple shout outs to our kings out there, because I do know that a lot of this information is transferable, whether you are, doesn't really matter what your gender type is, it is transferable, and we both can learn from one another. By the end of today's session, though, it's all about gaining insight, why self-awareness is pivotal in leadership, and why you need to make sure you're on point. A lot of times people think that they're on point, and you just need a couple of tweaks. You just need to listen a little bit. You need to dig deep. You need to, at times, we are so reactive to feedback. So I'm going to even say this. If you are super reactive to feedback, I'm going to wonder how well your self-awareness is. But that's a whole nother topic. Our 3 points for today, it's going to be knowing your values, understanding your emotional triggers, and you really need to understand how you operate, how you work. And that will help you help your team. That will help you to allow them to see you in a different light as well. And our third point is going to be recognizing your impact on others, because at the end of the day, this whole leadership thing, yes, we need to be self aware. We need to learn. We need to grow. And we're doing this so we can also be impactful to others. It is so not just about you. You really have to look out for the group, look out for the masses. It is just not about being that single led person. Normally, I go and we talk about a story. We're not even going to do that. Definitely remember, if you're catching us live or if you're catching the replay, we love to shout you out. Let us know your name, where you're tuning in from. I am here for the career woman, helping her to level up to an executive level position. And thus, I need to make sure that this information is definitely resonating with you. So, definitely, you can always drop us a line. Let us know that. And with that being said, we're going to just jump right on in. Knowing your values. It is such a key thing to know what your values are. What are your core values? Our core values are the lighthouse guides to your decision making, to how you take action, when you take action, how you receive information. When you're self aware, you recognize these values and you ensure that your team reflects these values. Do not take it for granted that everyone has the same values. Do not, please, 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 because a lot of times we really do think people think like us, and thus, if they think like us, they have similar values, and that's just false. It's false. It's a wrong way of thinking. You really have to start speaking about values. Don't make an assumption. Don't make an assumption just because, let's just say, you may, and this is one that a lot of people, for instance, you may cannot stand someone who lies. It may rub you, grind your gears, whatever little slang that we say, that may just really infuriate you. And yet, it may not be the same to someone else. And I know that I was talking about values, but I just mean in general, we think that we think alike. And I can't stress enough that we don't. And so you need to know your values because you also need to be able to express them. You need to be able to understand it's not just about adhering to your organizational values, but it's about embodying personal ones that resonate with your team. Like maybe it's integrity. Can we agree that we are a team of integrity? Can we agree that we are a team that cares and we are compassionate? Or is your team going to be the team of courage? Is your team going to be the team of loyal, dedicated members? It could be so many different things, but you also need to make sure that you're speaking of those things. And again, you don't want to make the assumption, oh, let's just even go here. Oh, I'm a Christian. And so they're Christians and we should have the same values. Absolutely not. I'm just saying, absolutely not. I'm telling you, you will be so surprised. So, speaking about your values, bringing them into the conversation is going to be key and it's going to be extremely helpful. Additionally, when you are aware of your values as a leader, you will be able to communicate better with your team. And again, it's not just about us, it's about those who are around us. You can create this shared shared understanding of what's important and what the team should strive for. This is going to be able to help you to align the same goals and values to create this sense of purpose and direction. And so do not skip this step. Speak about your values. You all can come up even with shared values. It's important, and it's important enough to not make the assumption that we all think alike, that we all have the same values. Again, even if you're coming up in a similar religious standpoint, still don't make the assumption that the people that you are working with, the people that you are dealing with, have those same values. So it's really good to be able to have a candid discussion within your team about them. Second point, understanding your listen, I'm an African American female. Not that we all roll our heads and all that kind of stuff, because we don't. But I'm saying that's where I want to tell you, seriously, understand your emotional. Yes, I want to shake my head. I want to lean in, lean back, because this is so key for you to understand your own triggers. Your triggers are your triggers. You have gotten them however it has come to pass. But in leadership, it is so much about making sure that you're also able to manage those things, manage your triggers, know what's going to spark you off, know whether it's stress, whether it's criticism. Maybe you're like, you know what, I'm good with feedback, but when you say the word criticism, or if you throw it in a certain way, it makes me angry. That if that's you, know that if it's conflict, if conflict bothers you, you need to know that. Allow yourself the opportunity to be self-aware, so when these things are coming at you, you know how to respond and you won't just react. It is so important, and I'm sure you have heard it. I've heard it from pastors from time and time again. Your response is your responsibility. And knowing this, you need to know your emotional triggers so you know how to properly react. Or not react, that you know how to respond. You can respond in a way where you can take those emotional aspects and tidbits out. But if you're not true to yourself, if you don't have the wherewithal to really look at, you know what? When they do this, I do respond this way. These are uncomfortable. Listen, it's uncomfortable conversation. It just is what it is. Get through the uncomfortable conversation. Ask a partner, ask a family member, ask your children, whomever it is, just in case you may be like, well, I don't really know what my triggers are. Trust me, they know. They know what they are. So ask. If you are unaware, make sure you ask. This is going to help you in your leadership journey. And when you get this and understand it up front and sooner than later, you will grow exponentially. Like, you're going to really grow when you get this. Understanding your emotional triggers is going to also help you to build empathy towards your team members, towards the people that you're working with. You can better relate to their emotions and understanding their perspectives, especially when you have a hold and a grip on yours. You're going to be able to create a more supportive and understanding environment where everyone feels valued, everyone feels heard. Listen, let me say this too, because some of you are out there saying, but nobody is valuing me. Nobody is feeling and caring about how I feel. I care about how you feel. Okay. So as long as there's one out there, stop worrying about what your current supervisor or your management is doing. That does not negate you do for your people. You can still create an environment for your people, even if your particular environment or your supervisor isn't providing what you feel is necessary. Don't 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 give that to the people that are reporting to you. That don't give them that. I'm gonna need you to step up, be a little bit better, and guess what? Get in environments that can help and give you what you need so you don't have to worry. Yes, it would be nice if all of our supervisors were great, if all the supervisors, the managers who are supervising supervisors and directors and all of these executives, yes, it would be great if they were doing everything. We know that's not the case, but don't let that stop you from positively affecting those people you support. Third, a third point, recognizing your impact on others. A self aware leader is so cognizant of his or her, we'll just say his or her influence on team morale, engagement, productivity. A self aware leader cares. They care. They know that their words matter, that their tone matters, that they're just not going to throw anything out there just because that's how they're feeling at the moment, because they know that it can impact someone that's around them. Being mindful of this impact, a leader is going to be able to foster this positive experience, empowering not just the person, empowering the group. It's going to provide this nurturing environment where people can grow and they'll have opportunities. And that's one of the key reasons, or I hope it's definitely one of the key reasons you do what you do and or you want to get into leadership. Recognizing your impact on others can help you build better relationships with your team, with your coworkers. You can take steps that's going to ensure that you're communicating clearly, effective, and that your interactions with others are positive and productive. Yes, there are ways that we need to make sure, and when I say positive and productive, you may have team members or you may have people that are reporting to you that aren't doing the jobs that they're supposed to do. There's a way around that. And I still think, even when we're addressing performance or we're addressing any levels of misconduct, you can still bring a positive spin and you can still make it feel more productive. And so just, know that we're not talking about that right now, but you can even make those things positive, productive. You will be able to foster this open culture of communication, something that we need more and more. It's about communication, it's about collaboration. We want to make sure that we are creating that environment where everyone feels comfortable sharing and we're working towards that common goal. And so, with that being said, yes, I see you, Miss Stacy. Respond versus react. I'm glad you like that, because we need to respond. We need to respond more. And if we are taking that step back that we need to take, back to really look at the situation. Sometimes we get so pigeonholed into whatever it is that we are doing at any given moment that we forget our lack of smile can affect someone. Our thought, because you could be, maybe you're on screen and you are thinking about something, and someone else is interpreting that as, because someone else can be talking, and they're going to interpret that as, oh my gosh, they didn't like what they have to say. We have to be, especially as leaders, we have to be so self-aware of what our face is saying. And later, y'all, later, y'all can come for me. You can, when I'm about to say this later, for my face tells it all. It doesn't have to, though. It just doesn't have to. There are ways that you can work with your face not telling all your business. Would you want your kids walking around telling all your business? Then why do we want our face to tell all of our business? There are ways. There are ways that you can do that where everyone, I don't subscribe to the theory that everyone has to know what you're thinking at every given time. And if you are that person where your face tells it all, again, you know what? Connect with me. Let's work on that if that's something that you want to work on, but your face does not have to tell it all. Now, with all that being said, if you want to work on that, I would definitely invite you to join our Facebook group, the Next Level Progression Alliance, which I am teetering on taking that off of Facebook and putting it in another place, because I recognize that everyone does not always enjoy logging on to Facebook. But for right now, this is still a space for leaders, up and coming leaders, where we are supporting one another. We are in this together. We are willing to share knowledge. We are willing to share, the air quotes trades of the secret, and just being able to create this space for you. And so definitely please join our group. The information about where we're going or what we're going to do is there. Stay tuned, because I'm sure I'll be telling more sooner than later. I want to end with, remember, it's all about self-awareness and leadership. It's not just about you. It's about empowering strategies that it's going to help you, but more importantly, propel your team towards excellence. Yes, we want our stuff straight, but more importantly, we want those who are reporting to us to have, that they feel successful, that they feel heard, that they feel valued. And you do these things by knowing your very own self-awareness, knowing how you interact with others makes a difference. How you knowing your values and being able to share them in a team environment makes a difference. Coming up with team values makes a difference. It's all about inspiring others. And you do this by knowing yourself. Also, don't forget, know your triggers. If you're saying, Miranda, I just don't know what they are, ask somebody. Trust me, someone that you know knows how to push your button. Look for how do people push my button? Those are your triggers. You need to know them. You need to understand them so that you can respond and you don't have to react. People don't have to know what you're thinking, again, all the time. I like to end with a quote. As usual, knowing yourself is the beginning of all wisdom. And that's a quote by Aristotle. This quote really encapsulates the importance of self-awareness. And it's function in leadership, and not just leadership, but for your own personal growth. You need to understand yourself. That is going to help you to be a better, effective leader, and you're going to be able to lead with greater wisdom when you truly know yourself. Please join me next week for more incredible insights. You deserve nothing but the best. It's my goal to ensure that you move to your next level. Let's take your career to new heights together.